So do your best and Lord does the rest. So oftentimes we hear this phrase, right? Do your best and leave the rest. Leave the rest to who? Leave the rest to who? For someone else to finish that. You do 1% and leave the 99% to someone else. So that's why you have to be more specific. Do your best and Lord does the rest. Or leave it to Lord. Leave the rest to the Lord.
So this topic should come in Karma Yoga, right? The chapter 3 should come, right?
Yeah.
It is coming here.
This will be elaborated in chapter 3, 4 and 5. Yeah. So chapter 2 is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna talks about all yogas here. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, everything. Yeah. So it's a prelude to what's going to come up. And then after speaking entire Bhagavad Gita, in 18th chapter again Krishna gives summary. Yeah. So in every presentation you will see agenda and then the topic slides and then in the end summary, right? So chapter 2 is like that agenda, the prelude, and all the other chapters, and then 18th chapter is a summary again. Okay. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana Ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangostva karmani. Okay, so since this is an important verse, so let's repeat a few times. Abhishek, yeah, you recite.
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन
Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana
मा कर्म फलहेतुर्भूर्मार्ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि
Ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangostva karmani. Okay, someone from ladies? Jyoti? Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana Ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangostva karmani. Want to recite? Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana Ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangostva karmani. Rahul, you want to recite?
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन
Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana
मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूर्माते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि
Ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangostva karmani. So online, does anyone want to recite online? Yeah, go ahead.
Who, Prabhuji?
Oh, share Jena? Yeah, let me share.
Prabhuji, ఎవరి పేరు చెప్పారు కదా?
మీరే సరిత.
ఓకే బ్రో. కర్మణ్యేవాధికారస్తే మా ఫలేషు కదాచన
Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana
మా కర్మ ఫలహేతుర్భూర్మాతే సంగోస్త్వకర్మణి
Ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangostva karmani. Okay, very good. So, there's an important tip that will help you how to memorize the shlokas. There are 3 things that can help you memorize the shlokas. One is repeated hearing. Either you sing and you hear yourself, if it is good, if you like your singing. Otherwise, you find some nice recitation online on YouTube and keep hearing that continuously. Okay. So repeated hearing is the first and foremost thing. Second thing is the visual also. So when you look at the text while you are reciting or while you are hearing, the vision also helps for you to remember the shloka. Okay, and then maybe you can write it down few times. That will also help. So when you engage all the senses, okay, the touch, the hearing, the visual, and then use your tongue to recite. So when you engage all the five senses, it'll be very easy to memorize the shloka. So most of the times either we sing or we just hear somebody singing, but we neglect the other senses like visuals and then writing it down. Okay, that will help. In childhood, we all used to write, right? We used to repeat like composition 5 times. If there is a punishment the teacher has to give, he'll say, hey, composition, you have to write this 5 times. Same thing, you have to repeat 5 times. So there is a reason for that, because you will remember that for sure. And visuals, when you are looking at the text, and later on when you have to recite the shloka out of memory, you'll be able to recollect from that visuals. Okay. So what does the shloka say here? And also understanding the meaning. Okay. When you understand the word for word meaning, that will help you memorize the shloka even better. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Okay? So a little confusing, right? It looks like some sentences, Krishna is saying, okay, let's hear that what is there. So let's break it down. Let's break it down into the individual components so that we can understand better. So there are 4 parts or components in this shloka. Karmanye vadikaraste. And the second one is ma phaleshu kadachana. Third one is ma karma phala heturbur. Fourth one is mate sangos akarmani. So this is the second instruction that Krishna is giving after 2.14. 2.14 is tolerance, one of the most important shlokas. Similarly, 2.47, the art of working. That was art of tolerance. This is art of working. So one of the most important shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So now how many of you heard this shloka and how many of you know the meaning of this? I mean, before you started attending Bhagavad Gita classes.
We heard Mahabharata. When you're starting with the Mahabharata serial, it will be
Yeah.
we don't know the meaning of that.
Yeah.
The people used to, in my childhood, I remember people used to, Bhagavad Gita is,
Karma
do your karma and forget about
the results. Yeah.
That was a short 1-line summary.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyone else? Huh?
We can plant the seeds, right? But we cannot expect the result because there are so many factors involved, right?
Yeah.
To get the-
Now Sudhakar is talking advanced level. Okay.
No, that's what my father used to tell me.
Yeah. Yes, very good.
Even when we are preparing exams, parents will tell same thing. You do your best. After the result, don't bother about results and all.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
Then
good.
when the results come, they will say,
What happened? You didn't study well. You didn't study well. You could have done much better. And then scored also.
Yeah.
Not right our name then.
Yeah. You're saying scorecard or the exam paper itself?
Result, right? They should not write our name like this is my result because I don't control it.
No, if somebody does not study well and they know that they are going to fail in the exam, right? And if they have revenge on somebody, they want to take revenge on somebody, they can write the other person's name on the question paper.
No, but the number will be there. All ticket number will be there.
Yeah, then he will, no, hall ticket number also. If you know hall ticket number, you write that also. So the invigilator who is going to correct the papers, he is going to cancel both papers. Yeah. So, and this is the most important shloka, and this is most misunderstood, most misinterpreted. Okay, so different people give different meanings to it. They interpret it very incorrectly. So let's understand what is the correct meaning of this. So first part, karmanye vadikaraste. You have a right to perform your work.
What means karma?
We'll discuss what is karma. Okay. Uh, Next one is mafaleshu kadachana. You have no right on the results. You have no right to claim your results. Okay. Ma karma phala hetur bor. You are not the cause of the work. Just remember the word hetu. Hetu means cause. Mate sangos akarmani. You do not give up your work. So there is a spelling mistake there. You do not give up your work. Okay? Do not give up your work. Krishna asked only to give up the results, not the work. But somebody may think, okay, since I have to give up the results of the work, I rather give up my work itself. So, okay. Now, we'll read Prabhupada's purport and then come back here. Karmani in the prescribed duties. Eva certainly. Adhikara right. Te of you. Ma never. Phaleshu in the fruits. Kadachana at any time. Ma never. Karma phala in the result of the work. Hetu cause. Bu become. Ma never. Te of you. Sangha attachment. Astu there should be. Akarmani is not doing prescribed duties. Yeah. Purport. There are three considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties are activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. Capricious work means actions without the sanction of authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of the action. Thus, he is the enjoyer or sufferer of the result of such actions. As far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Routine work performed as an obligation in terms of the scriptural injunctions without desire for results is action in the mode of goodness. Work with results becomes the cause of bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has the proprietary right in regard to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the result. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. The last paragraph. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna. Okay? Let's go back to our slides. So these are the four components. Now let's discuss each of these components in detail. So first part is karmanye vadikaraste. You have a right to perform your work. So Annapurna asked, what is work or what is karma? That's what you asked, right? Okay. So the basic understanding of the word karma is action or work. So any work that you do, any action that you perform, that's karma. But there are different details to it, different levels of understanding the same word karma. So let's try to understand what are the different types of karma or activities that we perform. There are three types of works: karma, vikarma, and akarma. Huh? Oh, okay. The last one. Yeah. Akarma. Arama. Amazing. Arama. Atma Rama. Akarma.
That's what we are looking for.
Give up your work. That's the last section. Akarma. Karma, vikarma, akarma. Yeah. So in fact, the inaction is akarma, but if you're not doing any activity, then it is arama. So okay, so there can be fourth type of work that we can add here. Okay, so as we read in the purport, Prabhupada mentioned there are three types of karmas, three types of works. First one is karma. Karma is any activity that is performed as per the scriptural injunctions. Okay, any activity that is performed as mentioned in accordance with the Vedas is karma. The do's basically. And vikarma is don'ts. Any activity that is prohibited in the Vedas is vikarma. For example, if a person X is killing person Y, that's vikarma. That's papa karma. Any papa karma is vikarma. And any punya karma, any good activity is karma. Okay? And akarma is inaction. Inaction means it can be understood as no action. Okay? If you look at the English word inaction, it's the antonym of action. Action, inaction. Action means work. Inaction means no work. Okay?
When we do physically, that is only action, or we can think about that is also a karma. When we think about somebody also, that is also an action. We can think of physically also consider as an action.
Yeah, that can also be action.
When we are thinking about something,
Yeah.
that is also a karma or
So it's actually thinking, feeling, willing, and then acting.
acting, then only it comes to as karma.
Yes.
By thinking it doesn't mean it's a karma.
Technically, yes, it doesn't equate to the physical action. That's why in Kali Yuga there's a benediction that if you think of some negative thing, you will not incur any papa karma. But because you're actually not doing the work, you're actually not doing the sinful activity. So even if you think of killing somebody, you will not get any papa karma. Unless you actually kill somebody, you will not get papa karma.
Physically, when we do something, that is only karma.
Yes. So you can try this if you want. Whether it is true or not.
Sankhya Yoga, even if we thought about like doing a bad thing, we would incur sin, right?
Yes. Yeah. In other yugas, it is not like this. And in Kali Yuga, another benediction is if you think of doing some good work, even if you don't do that, you get the punya karma. Okay?
Oh, that is considered
That's why they say, if you cannot do good, think good.
Think good. Yeah.
Think good.
Yeah. So it's a great benediction actually, right? Because the mind is evil. So we get so many thoughts and it is very difficult to control mind. Whereas in other yugas, Satya Yuga, Dhyanam, meditation. So only in Kali Yuga, Sudhakar, people like Sudhakar can control the mind. But Satya Yuga, Dhyanam was the prescribed method for everybody. So it was, to some extent, it was easy to control. But now we are not doing Dhyanam. It's difficult to control mind. So that's why this benediction is given. If you think of bad, you will not get Papa Karma. But if you think of good, even if you don't do the good activity, you will get Punya Karma. But if you observe the type of work that majority of the people do in this world, right? It's all intellectual. It's at intellectual level. The software work that people do, it's not a physical work. Either you do some work on the computer, or after certain stage, when you get promoted and all, you don't even do any work on the computer. Okay, you just think and then you speak in the meetings, and the work is done. So even though there is no physical action, it's all at the intellectual level. So that can also be considered as work. Okay. And there can be reaction for that type of work. That's why in Kali Yuga they say that the software work is actually not the real type of work, because it's at the subtle level. So the real work is any work that's performed by going to the field. By going to the field means not necessarily farming, but any field work. For example, sales people, marketing people, they do the field work. So those type of works are actually considered real works. So the software thing, it came like a booth. So, and everyone is attracted to it. And after some time, even we don't have to do that also. AI, ChatGPT will do everything for us. We just have to learn prompt engineering, how to give, efficient prompts to ChatGPT so that it can give better results. Yeah. So now coming back here. So akarma, the English translation can be inaction, but there can be two meanings to it. Inaction means it can be no work, or work that does not cause any bondage. The first two types of works, karma and vikarma, they have bondage. If you do good things, you get punya karma. If you do bad things, you get papa karma. Punya karma, papa karma, both are binding. They keep you bound in the material world. Okay, they keep you entangled in the material world. If you do punya karma, you have to take birth again to enjoy the results. If you do papa karma, you have to take birth to suffer from the sinful activities. Okay. And often it is understood that, or it's a misconception, that we should have our balance sheet tallied. Both punya karma, papa karma should be tallied. In the balance sheet, if you put the number of points on papa karma side and punya karma side, they say that both should be tallied. Only then you will get liberation. If you have 1 million points on papa karma side, you should have 1 million points on punya karma side to nullify, and then you will get liberation. But is that possible? It's not possible.
It's not annihilated. It's like you need to suffer for your papa and you need to enjoy your punya, right?
Yeah. So these two are separate accounts. Okay. These two are separate accounts. It's not like joint account. Okay. If you have 1 million points on punya karma side, you have to enjoy all the 1 million points. And if you have 1 million points on the papa karma side, you have to suffer from all those 1 million points of sinful activities. And with our human efforts, it is not possible to nullify them. And another important point is, a good activity will not nullify bad activity. 1 point on the punya karma side will not nullify 1 point on the papa karma side. Okay. So, but majority of the people understand it this way. They say that by the time of death, we should have zero balance. Okay. But it's not possible. Every day we are committing so many sinful activities and we don't know. We are not even aware of those. When you are taking shower, you are killing so many living entities. When you are walking on the street, you are killing so many insects. And all these things we are doing unknowingly. We are not doing consciously, but a sin is a sin. Whether you are doing it consciously or unconsciously, a sin is a sin. So that's why we need to perform that type of work that has no bondage, akarma. So akarma is, in simple words, akarma is devotional service. Any service performed to the Lord is akarma. That has no bondage. So when you perform any activity to please the Lord, there's no bondage.
Bondage with the God.
Hmm?
Unless and until we have a bondage with the God, then only we can perform service.
Yeah, you will develop bondage with God.
That no bondage means
No bondage in the material world. Yeah. So you will not be entangled to take birth and death again. Okay. And do your best. So what is it, what exactly does it mean? Do your best and God does the rest.
Concentration.
Concentration. Do your best. So remember we discussed in Vyavasayatmika Buddhi from chapter 1. Okay, somebody remembers that it is from chapter 2. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi एकेह कुरुनंदन बहुशाखाह्यनंतश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसाय, not व्यवसायिनम, अव्यवसायिनम. So the meaning is changed completely. If you say avyavasayinam, meaning is changed completely. There is an apostrophe symbol before vyavasayinam. There is an apostrophe symbol. So you have to read that as avyavasayinam. Okay, vyavasayatmika buddhi, vyavasaya, avyavasaya. So vyavasaya means, vyavasayatmika buddhi means one-pointed attention. So what did we learn when we were discussing that shloka?
Instead of focusing more things, just to focus only one thing so that you can get the best result.
Yeah. So a person who is practicing Bhakti Yoga, his goal should be, he should have a one-pointed attention towards his goal. So what is his goal? To attain Krishna Prema. So a person who is practicing Bhakti Yoga to attain Krishna Prema should have one-pointed attention towards his goal. If you do not have that goal, if you do not have this higher goal of attaining Krishna Prema, and if you do not have this one-pointed attention towards your goal, what happens? That person's determination will be multi-branched. So he'll be distracted. If you do not have one-pointed attention, you will be distracted by so many allurements in the material world. In the material world, we are always attracted by so many objects, sense objects. There is something nice to eat, something nice to see, something nice to hear. So many allurements, sense objects. So a person who is not determined or a person who is not resolute in his path, he will have multi-branched attention. He'll be distracted basically. So the best example for doing your work best or giving your best. So when they say give your best, what does it mean actually?
Be honest.
Huh?
Be honest in what you are doing and
Be honest. Okay, not necessarily honesty is needed, but that's not what it means actually.
put our five senses in that work.
Hmm?
Put our five senses towards that work.
No, Sarita, you were saying something.
Yeah. So whatever the possible, whatever the ability you can do 100% ability, 100%.
Yes, very good. Yeah, do your best means work to the best of your capacity. Work to the best of your capacity. And they say give your 100%. That means you should work to your maximum capacity, whatever you can deliver to the maximum. That's why they always ask you to work 18 hours because they know that that's your max. So now again, when they say do your best, which means work to the best of your capacity, that means it is the best of your capacity, not someone else's capacity. Not someone else's capacity. You should not imitate. For example, from Ramayana, we can see two examples, right? A small squirrel and Hanuman. The mighty Hanuman and a small squirrel. They both helped Lord Rama. They both performed their service to Lord Rama to find Sita Devi. Lord Hanuman performed a gigantic, humongous task. Whereas the small squirrels, they only dropped a few grains of sand. And then if somebody asks, are those two equal? A small squirrel doing a small amount of work and Hanuman performing a gigantic task of actually finding Sita and telling Lord Ram. Are those two equal or not?
Yes.
Yes.
They are equal because the squirrel is doing is giving her best, 100%. Squirrel is giving her 100%. That's what the squirrel can do. Squirrel cannot fly across the ocean and then go to Lanka and come back. So whatever squirrel was able to do, squirrel did that. So that's why when they say work to the best of your capacity, that means it is your capacity, not someone else's. So if Hanuman tries to if Hanuman tries to perform to the best of squirrel's capacity, then what happens? Then the work will not be done efficiently, right? Then the work will not be done efficiently. And if squirrel, on the other hand, if squirrel tries to imitate Hanuman, Hanuman is performing a gigantic task. Maybe Lord Ram will have special affection and appreciation for Hanuman and not for us. If squirrel tries to imitate Hanuman's capacity, can squirrel do that? No. So that's why we should not try to imitate. At the same time, we should not try to imitate others in the name of performing more. And at the same time, we should not try to imitate others and underperform ourselves. Okay?
How to gauge our capacity? It's like how to, we don't know our capacity, right? We will think every time we perform, we feel we have not done that much, we would have done more.
Yeah.
So how to gauge it?
So I mean, you know your nature the best. Okay? So you know your body, you know your physical ability, you know your nature the best. So you can decide your capacity to the best, but many times we see that even though we are able to deliver to the best of our ability, we may not do it. So that's why a mentor or a senior, in spirituality, a guru is needed, so that they can observe us if we are giving our best or not. So if a person who is capable of doing some physical service in the temple, if they are not doing, so a guru or a senior person can guide. For example, you all come to temple Tuesday and Thursday, right? So Parth Prabhu knows how many pots Sudhakar can wash. If Sudhakar only washes 2 pots and says, "Oh, I'm done today, I'm done for the day," Parth Prabhu knows how many dishes he can wash. Similarly, if Jyoti is cutting only 1 bag of potatoes, Parth Prabhu knows how many she can cut. So we need some guidance. Okay, either you figure out by yourself, because if you are stretching yourself, you will know from the symptoms. You will know. You will get tired, or you will have some bodily pains. So you know that you are not going to do well. So in those cases, you can set your limits.
Try
Okay.
to do something. I think later in Bhagavad Gita also I've heard like it will come like Lord Krishna says, if somebody can do this, if you get this, otherwise try doing this, like different levels.
That's not
of,
for physical work.
Yeah.
That's in 12th chapter.
Yeah.
That's in 12th chapter. First Krishna asks to offer our mind to Krishna.
Yeah.
Always think of Krishna.
You cannot do
If that is not possible, then give up the work for Krishna.
Yeah.
If that is not possible, then give up the results of your work. If that is not possible, then cultivate some knowledge.
Yeah, I'm just using the framework. So the same framework in the physical thing also we should try, as you said, like stress, like try to think if we can do this, otherwise if we cannot do, just reduce the scope and do.
Yeah, so this is essentially talking about the physical work. Yeah, this particular shloka, when Krishna says here, karmanye vadikaraste, you have a right to perform your work. It is most importantly about our occupational duties. Okay, physical work.
And so like 2 or 3 things here combined. One, the question that Master asked,
Yeah.
how to gauge our capacity, and is it applicable to our service or our professional work also?
Both actually. Yeah, that's a good point. So both. If a manager asks you to work 18 hours, and if your capacity is only to work for 8 hours, which is the normal capacity, right? So then, if you are able to convince the current manager and only work 8 hours and survive in the job, continue doing that. Otherwise, you find something else.
Yeah, I think the question is because your capacity may be that you can work 14 hours.
Yeah.
But you have to limit that. No, after 8 hours, I'm not going to do this because
Yeah.
I have to do my service.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing something.
So, because you're doing not just one work, you're doing variety of works.
Yeah.
So, we have to, our capacity, if we do one work, could be more.
Yeah.
But because we are doing multifarious work, so we have to set our limits.
Yeah.
Which may not be, given these circumstances, this is the best I can do. Kind of a thing.
Yeah. And sometimes when the work demands, if you have to work 12 hours, 14 hours, you do that. But not on daily basis. If 18 hours is the normal time frame that is expected from you, then there definitely something is wrong. And even if you have to, work 18 hours a day, you will know. Very soon you will know that you are going to, burn out, and then you will not sustain.
We have to balance our capacity in every levels, at home, at office, in our spiritual work, everywhere. We have to balance our capacity.
Yeah. So another meaning of giving our best, is one important thing is capacity. Okay. If it is a physical work, doing the work to the best of your physical capacity. Okay. Another thing is how you perform that work with attention, the quality. Okay. Huh?
Like our focus, and when you are doing it, do it, be involved in that.
Yeah, karmanishta, ekagrata, all these words. Yeah, attention, just like vyavasayatmika buddhi. And the best example for doing work with full concentration is Arjuna himself. Okay, so concentration has 3 aspects: attention, awareness, and absorption. Let me put the slideshow so that you can see clearly. Attention, awareness, and absorption. So attention, we discussed, just like in the vyavasayatmika buddhi, one pointed attention towards your goal. So when Dronacharya asked all the Pandavas, when he was teaching martial arts to the Pandavas, so one day as part of his test to the Pandavas, so he has put a wooden bird on a branch of a tree, and then asked the Pandavas to shoot an arrow towards the eye of that wooden bird. Okay, so first he asked Nakula, and Nakula is in the position with the bow and arrow, and Dronacharya asks Nakula, what do you see? Then Nakula describes entire thing that he sees there, along with the bird and all the surroundings, the branch, the tree, the sky, people, everything. Then similarly, Sahadeva, Bhima, and all other four Pandavas, he asks. Everybody says the same thing. Only Arjuna, finally Arjuna comes. Then Arjuna is also in the position again. Dronacharya asks Arjuna, what do you see? Arjuna says, I see only the bird of the eye of the bird. I do not see anything else. And Dronacharya says, yes, go for it. Just shoot the arrow. And then he shoots the arrow right into the eye of the bird, the wooden bird. Okay. And another example that we see from Mahabharata, when Arjuna had to shoot an arrow again into the eye of the fish by looking at the reflection of the fish in the mirror. Huh?
Water.
Yeah, water. Is it water or mirror?
Reflection of
Water, basically reflection, water.
Maybe there's a mirror on top of water.
But water also reflects.
Yeah, some reflection, basically reflection of the fish. Okay. So Arjuna, and also another story that we know from Arjuna's case is when one day when Arjuna was eating food in the night time, okay, dinner. So those days there was no electricity, right? So only the earthen lamps. So he was eating under the earthen lamp, and by the gust of the wind, the lamp is blown off, and it's completely dark. And Arjuna was about to finish his dinner, so he says, "Okay, let me finish my dinner anyway. It's almost done." Then he realizes that okay, I was able to eat in darkness, and why can't I shoot arrows in dark? Then he practices his archery skills to shoot arrows in darkness. So now you can imagine how much attention Arjuna had. Okay, he had great amount of attention. Then awareness. So that means whenever you are performing any work, whether it is service or your occupational duty, you should be fully aware of the details of the work that is being done. Otherwise, what happens? If you are not aware of the details of the work, if you are not aware of why you are performing that work, what happens? What's the problem?
Quality. Quality of the
Quality, okay.
We don't understand about that. We are not aware.
Yeah, even though you don't understand, you can still perform your work. So what's the problem with that? That's the quality. That's quality only.
Results may vary.
Results may vary. As they put in the disclaimer, results may vary.
It may be negative karma.
Yeah, Neeraj, you're saying something?
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, then you might be doing a negative karma.
Negative karma. Okay, that's also a good point. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah. What else?
You don't know how to drive, still you go and drive. It will injure others cause sin.
It'll be dangerous, huh?
Yeah.
It'll be dangerous. Okay. So if you're not aware of the details of the work that you are doing, if you're not aware of why you are doing that work will be mechanical. You'll still do the work, but it will be mechanical. You'll not be able to continue performing that work for a long time. Okay. For example, once upon a time there was a temple construction. There were 3 workers who were involved in that temple construction. So one passerby, he sees these 3 workers. They're doing some construction work. So that passerby asks the first person, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm doing some construction work. I don't know what exactly we are building, but I'm just doing some construction work." Then he asks the second person also. The second person also says, "I'm doing some construction work. It's a 10-story building. That's all I know. Other than that, I don't know much." So the second person knows a little bit more details than the first person. And the third person, he responds saying that we are building a temple here. We are building a temple, and I'm so fortunate to be part of this temple construction. Now, if you know why you are working, if you know that you are doing the construction work to build a temple, now that's a great motivation for you to continue that work. Otherwise, if you are just aware of the fact that you are building some building, huh?
Knowledge means awareness.
Yes, knowledge of the work. Yes, yeah. So you may be able to work for some time, for 6 months, and then tomorrow, if somebody offers more salary for the similar construction work, you will go there, right? But you will lose the benefit of being part of this temple construction. If you're not aware of the fact that you are actually working for the temple, you will lose the fortune of being part of temple construction. So that's why it's very important to know all the details and become aware of the work completely. Okay? Then absorption. Absorption, you should be, okay, let me share the slides for online people. So what is absorption? You should be fully absorbed in your work. Involved, okay. So how is it different from attention? It almost sounds same, right? Absorption and attention almost sound same.
Means you are enjoying also. You are focusing and
also
enjoying.
gain the knowledge of what you are doing.
Involved is correct, okay. So what does it mean?
Means you are
Becoming
enjoying.
involved
If I'm
or
absorbed in something, I'm like not only focusing but I'm enjoying it.
You don't know about the surroundings also.
okay. You're enjoying. Absorption means you're enjoying, okay.
You are not aware of the surroundings, even what is happening.
Excellent. Absorbed means you are oblivious to what is happening other than what you are doing. You're oblivious to anything that is happening around you. You're completely involved. You're engrossed in the activity that you're performing. Okay, whether it is an occupational duty or service. Okay, Americans are like that. You know, they have great amount of attention. They're fully absorbed actually. In whatever they are doing, they have high amount of absorption. Okay.
I remember a joke, Prabhuji, just with these two words. Like the second word was awareness.
Awareness.
And absorption. So there were two people on the highway.
Yeah.
And one was digging a hole, and the other was putting the mud back.
Okay.
So they were very absorbed in their task.
Yeah.
But they were not aware like there has to be a third person who has to put the plant also.
Yeah.
So they were very absorbed, but they were not aware.
Yeah.
And they just were digging and just filling up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good example.
Yeah, overall, the awareness was not there, but they were very absorbed. They were doing their job with.
So they are mechanical then.
Yeah, mechanical.
Yeah. So all the gopis who served Krishna, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, who served Krishna, they're fully absorbed. Okay. So that's why when we go to temple and take darshan of the Lord, we should be fully absorbed, looking at the deity. Okay. Start from the feet and take darshan of the Lord, different limbs of the Lord, going all the way up to his lotus face and lotus eyes. Start from the feet, lotus feet. Okay, completely become absorbed in taking darshan. You should spend good 5 to 10 minutes in taking darshan of each and every deity. Swami's temple, when you come there, there are, how many deities are there? About 15 deities are there. So 15 times 5. You will spend 1 hour there. But at least you should spend 15 minutes. Okay, 15 deities, you should spend at least 15 minutes. How many deities we have, by the way? Gaur-Nitai, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Sudarshan, Radha, Krishna, Rama, Sita, Lakshmana, Hanuma, Lakshmi, Narsingadev, Tulsi Maharani. 14, 15. Yeah, 15 actually. Huh? Yeah, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Guru Parama, that will add more. Okay, let's not complicate it. At least 15 deities, okay? Good, I never counted, but I just approximately I told 15 and it's 15.
Mine is simplified. Hare Krishna mantra is there, right?
Yeah.
I only see Krishna and Rama. That's it.
You only see Krishna and Rama. Yeah, if you become fully absorbed in Krishna and Rama, that is also fine.
Absorption will come when we love somebody, then only that feeling will come.
Yes. And how will you develop that love?
Yeah, instead of, so we usually divert our energies to material things, right? If you divert the same energy to Krishna, so we have to go that energy to somewhere else, right? So if you divert to Krishna, then
No, that's a different topic. So,
So
how will you
like-
develop love? It is correct. You'll be absorbed only when you have love on somebody. But how will you develop love?
Feeling, thinking,
By knowing about it
Who
more.
was there in Friday's class?
Huh?
They must know.
we feel from
Oh, this was discussed in Friday's class? Mahabharata, Bhagavatam.
Actually, there was 7.1 verse from Bhagavad Gita. How to develop attachment for Krishna.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was discussed in Friday's class? Okay. Yeah. So anyone was there?
Mother, you came.
Mataji was there.
You were there. Okay.
Vijay was there.
Yeah. They were there, but they are being humble now.
I think you would be able to recall it. Yeah.
no, if you're chanting, then you develop, right, automatically. You get purified and then you keep developing attached to God, right?
Yeah.
If you do chanting,
But how do you generalize it? For example,
repetition, right?
when you are absorbed in doing some activity for a person, you're not going to chant his name, right?
we
So,
will feel like satisfied and peace in all aspects. Then only we will start developing the love, I feel.
but how will you feel satisfied?
It's like doesn't have desires. We will be by
Selfish.
seeing itself, we will be fulfilled, engaging all the senses.
No, I'm asking very simple question. Yes, Rahul.
By knowing it more, like if you want to love something, you want
Yes,
to develop
very good.
love,
That's a simple answer. Simple question, simple answer.
You need to know.
When you have knowledge of somebody, then you will love that person. The prerequisite is to have knowledge, to hear about that person. Rukmini Devi, how did she develop love for Krishna? Simply by hearing about Krishna. Similarly, in this material world also, when you hear about somebody, you will develop love, you will develop some kind of favoritism, some kind of attraction. So, knowledge. So, when you hear about a person, then you will develop love. The more you hear about Krishna, the more you get attached to him. Absorption. See, unless you know the description to describe Krishna's beauty, how are you going to become absorbed when you stand in front of the deity? Unless you know the details of Krishna's various decorations, Kasturi Tilakam, Lalata Falake, Vakshastale Kaustubam, Nasagre Navamauktikam, Karatale Venum, Kare Kankanam, Kantecha Muktavali, Gopastri Pariveshtito, Vijayate Gopala Chodamani. So unless you know these details, what are you going to, become absorbed in? So next time when you take darshan of Krishna, you memorize the shloka first at home and go take darshan of Krishna and look at every limb of Krishna and try to correlate with all these lines in the shloka. Kasturi Tilakam, Lalata Falake, all these things.
So when we are before the Krishna conscious, we heard about Krishna so many times.
Yeah.
Now when we are hearing about the Krishna, there is a difference in that. So unless and until we are feeling from inside there is a difference, then only we will be more conscious of knowing about Krishna. Right?
Yeah.
Earlier from the childhood we have known Krishna as a God. Now we know what exactly. Feeling interest in getting.
Yes.
So why this differentiation? Unless and until we feel from inside, right?
Uh-huh.
There is a changes. Then only we will feel knowing more about that makes us to
No, your feeling, the reason for your feeling is the knowledge. See, in childhood, you are imparted with some knowledge about Krishna. Now, what is the difference? It is not because of your feeling. The feeling is because of the knowledge. Yeah, you have more details about Krishna. You know more about Krishna now. More knowledge about Krishna. That's why your feeling is different now. Yeah. Your feeling is not because of the knowledge. Yeah. Uh, so, absorption. Okay. You should be completely absorbed in what you are doing. Attention, awareness, and absorption. So that is about the first part. What is the first part? Karmanye vadikaraste. You have a right to perform your work. Uh, Actually, the three types of works and this topic of whole, karma. I think in the entire Bhagavad Gita, probably Krishna spoke more about karma than bhakti, because in karma is spoken in almost every chapter. First chapter, there's an aspect of karma. Second chapter, yes. Third, fourth, fifth, great details of karma. In fact, the chapter is titled as Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And only from 6 to chapter 6 also there is karma. Only from 7 to 12, there's little bit of karma, but more about bhakti. And again, starting from 13 onwards to 18, lot about karma. Especially in 18th chapter, Krishna describes how karma is performed differently in 3 different modes. See, whatever action that we are performing, right? See, when Krishna says, you have a right to perform your work. So, how do we understand that? Do I have some adhikar? Right means adhikar, right? Do I have adhikar to perform some work? Is that how you understand? Is that the literally meaning? Huh? Duty, very good. You have a duty to perform your work, or in other words, you have no other option other than working. Just like in 2.14, tolerance. Krishna said one must learn to tolerate. Krishna is saying politely, but indirect meaning is you have no option other than tolerating. Similarly, here when Krishna says you have a right to perform your work, Krishna is not telling that you are a manager and you have an adhikar to fire this person. He's not reminding of our adhikar. He's not giving us some adhikar. He's not empowering us like that. Indirectly he's saying that you have no other option other than working.
Prabhuji, does it mean like because it's for human beings, right? We are blessed and we have the right to actually perform karma. Other species cannot, right?
It is not right. Right means adhikar. So it's not like a birthright. By birth, you have acquired this right.
Human being, we are supposed to work.
Yes.
That's the right comes with our human being.
Even animals also do the work.
But they don't. Karma is not accumulated.
Yeah, karma. They are not bound to karma, but they also do work. Yeah.
But human being can choose, right? I can do it this way or that way.
Yeah, they do.
You can choose, right? But
Yes.
animals or trees, they just give the fruits and all those things.
Yeah, animals cannot discriminate because there is no good or bad for them. If one animal kills another animal for survival, there is no karma there. So we are, the essential point is we are forced to act. We have no other option other than work. That means we are forced to work. We are forced to do work. We are forced to eat. We are forced to go to the restroom. We are forced to do many things in this material world. Okay? So that's how we should understand. Karmanye vadikaraste means you are forced to work. Okay? But while you are doing your work, you give your best. It's not like somebody is forcing, let me finish the job somehow. Not like that. But you should change your consciousness and you should change your attitude towards work. Okay? You should give your best.
Prabhu, in the purport,
Yeah.
Prabhupada is saying,
Mhm.
such disinterested obligatory duties
Yeah.
doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. So, how do we understand this? Like, we should be I mean, the meaning of this is like we have to do our duty whether we are interested in that or not interested.
Yeah.
And in fact, if we are disinterested, that's the real way of doing it, because that will lead us to the path of liberation, right?
Everyone has his proprietary right in regard to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the results. Such disinterested obligatory duties. Disinterested means you are not interested in the results.
Disinterested, you are not interested in the result. Obligatory meaning you are doing it just out of obligation. You are like not attached to the work itself or to the results of the work. So,
No, but
because
work obligation, I think obligatory is for the work and disinterest is for the results.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
correct.
are obligated to the work, to work.
yeah, so like Rohit told that it is like you will be forced to work. So
Yeah.
you have to do it as an obligation.
Yeah.
So I think the point which I am trying to make is there is difference between sometimes we have to whatever we have to do our professional work.
Yeah.
And there is a difference between service.
Yeah.
So service is not something that is obligatory.
Yeah, service is not
Whereas
obligatory.
professional work is something obligatory and we have to do it even if we have to do it disinterestedly, it is fine.
Yeah.
But with service we have to do it with full interest. That will come in later, I think, in
Yeah.
The service.
Service also, I mean, you should have a goal saying that with my service I have to please Krishna. But again, you can be disinterested in the results.
Yes.
Yeah.
Disinterested in the result, but like being absorbed and doing it full-heartedly. Whereas the professional work, you have to do it as an obligation only. Like
No, I think we should do that as well.
That also you should do with absorption.
That's
Professional work also.
karma, right?
Yeah, you should do with absorption. All those points, attention, awareness, absorption, they are applicable in material duties as well as spiritual duties. Both cases.
So if we just do the duties, it will lead us to the liberation. It's not-
If you do your duty without attachment to the results.
Yeah.
Disinterested means not interested in the results.
Then it's prescribed duties. So not our office work.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it's not the we cannot directly correlate to the professional work that we are doing. To some extent we can do, but
Yeah.
we have to understand the essence also. Like
Yeah.
Prescribed duties are by Shastra. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So as per the Shastra, prescribed duties, occupational duties are the four things: Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra,
in the Varnashram.
Varnashrama. Yeah. Okay. So
I have one question. So,
Yeah.
if we are absorbed in doing our duties,
yeah,
we might get attached to those.
if you are absorbed in doing our duty, you might be attached.
Spiritual work, but the material stuff,
Yeah.
we might get attached to those. Right?
To the results. Yeah. Yeah. That we are going to discuss in the next three parts. Okay. So first part is about performing the work itself. Okay. And coming back to that point, right? So essentially we are forced to perform work. And in 18th chapter, Krishna describes how work is performed differently under the three modes of material nature. So what are the three modes of material nature?
Goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Goodness, passion, ignorance. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So we are always forced by these three modes to perform some work. And Krishna explains in 18th chapter how the same work is different when you're performing in the mode of goodness, when you're performing in the mode of passion, when you're performing in the mode of ignorance. How same work will give different results under these three modes. Okay? And how same work can give punya karma and papa karma when performed in different modes. Okay? So second part, a second component, ma phaleshu kadachana. You have no right on the results. So now what is this? Krishna said you have a right to work, but no right on the results. Then how can I give my best? I'll just do some work for the name's sake. if I am not entitled to the results of the work, I'll be only motivated to do some, some amount of work. I'll not be motivated to give my best. But you had a question, right? And I said we'll cover this. Yes, yeah. Okay. So oftentimes it is a tendency to always think about the results. Whenever we begin to do some task, it's a tendency, human tendency, to think about the results. Before we even start the work, we think about the results. What is there for me? How will I get benefited if I do this work? Will I get promotion if I do this work? All those things will come. All those calculations, profit and loss calculations will come into the mind before you begin the work actually. But Krishna is telling here, you have no right on the results. So another problem that mind creates is when I am putting so much of hard work, and if I am not entitled to result to get the results of the work, how will I be motivated? So when Krishna says you have no right on the results, Krishna is not saying that you do all the work and don't take any results. That's not what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying, do not be attached to the results. When Krishna said you should not have any right on the results, we should not understand incorrectly saying that we should not have any goal, higher goal. So when we are working, okay, let me not set any goal, because Krishna said do not look for results. So let me not set any goals. Let me just do some work every day, and whatever happens, happens. So you should not be so morose about the results, or you should not be so morose about the goals. You should have a higher goal. In fact, you should have highest goal. You should have a highest goal to achieve the topmost thing in your activity, whether it is profession or service. But the key point here is when Krishna said you have no right on the results, that means you should not be attached to the results. You should not be attached to the results. Now, why is Krishna telling this? You should not be attached to the results. Is Krishna telling for his own benefit? Does Krishna have some personal motive here?
It will affect our.
People don't get disappointed if they don't get the what's their
How?
Like,
How will it affect?
Influence, like the result could be his cousins can be killed, and he was like refraining from even fighting, right? Which was actually he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Something I can think of the result and I can decide not to do it.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing.
So that's a good example, but how do you put that in a general sentence?
If you attach to the result, if the results are not good, you might not work at all.
Yes, very good. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
To avoid disappointment, Prabhuji.
Yes, Neeraj. Yeah.
To avoid disappointment.
To avoid disappointment. Very good. Yeah. To reduce your expectations and to avoid disappointments later. Very good. So, yeah, if you think about the results before you even begin the work, successful people think in one way, and unsuccessful people think in a different way. So, what's the thought process of successful people?
Everything optimistic and go forward.
Like how? What will they think?
Results will be always in favor.
So, successful people will think, how wonderful would it be when we accomplish this task? Or how wonderful would it be when I finish this task? That's how successful people will think. And unsuccessful people?
Pessimistic way. Negative.
Like how?
How miserable it will be.
Huh?
How miserable it will be if I fail.
Yes. What will happen if it doesn't work? What will happen if it doesn't work? Okay, you are asked to do some task, but the first question that comes to mind is, what if I am not able to do, or what if it doesn't work? That's the question comes. So those are unsuccessful people. So
Prabhuji, like even successful people also they plan in such a way like they do they think on the positive side as well as on the negative side also, right? When they're planning to do something big,
Yeah.
they also think on the wrong side, like on the other side.
Yeah.
If it goes wrong, then what would be the best option to
Yeah.
implement?
Leaders and successful people, they look at both strength and weakness. SWOT analysis, right? Everybody knows SWOT analysis. Strength and weakness. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Yeah. So you look at both strengths and weakness. But unsuccessful people, most of the times, the first thing that comes to their mind is, oh, what if it does not work? What if it does not work? They only look at weaknesses. They focus more on weakness than strength. Yeah. Whereas successful people, they focus more on the strengths and less on the weaknesses. They are aware of their weaknesses also, their challenges, their limitations, their pain points. They are aware of those, but they have higher confidence in their strength than their weaknesses, which will motivate them to excel. Yeah.
No attachment only for the work or day-to-day work also in the anything. So like the day-to-day, if you're doing the work, results you are not should be attached. But in day-to-day in our life also sometimes it happens with our family members or some
Yeah.
other thing in any other scenario.
Yes.
We should not be attached with the results.
Yes.
Only we have to perform our duties.
Yes.
And rest all to the leave to the world.
Yeah.
In that way we are not attaching with others.
Correct. So we should.
Mostly you will be peaceful. If you don't
Will be peaceful. Yeah. Exactly. As Neeraj mentioned, right? To avoid disappointments. If you begin some task with high expectation on the result, and if that is not achieved, then you will be disappointed. You'll feel sad. So we should consider work as a reward. Should consider work as a reward, not the result as a reward. Work itself is a reward. Then you will be able to perform well and excel. So, for example, Jatayu. Jatayu is a vulture, okay, flying in the sky. And when Ravana was kidnapping Sita, Jatayu tried to stop Ravana, and there was a big fight between Jatayu and Ravana. And Jatayu knows very well that how powerful Ravana is, and if Jatayu can win the battle or not. Jatayu knows. Jatayu knows our limitations, our weaknesses. And when compared to Lord Ravana, not Lord Ravana, Ravana. When compared to Ravana, Lord Ravana. Ravana considers himself as the Lord. So that's why Lord Ravana. So when compared to Ravana's capacity and Ravana's strength, Jatayu actually does not have any strength. Jatayu does not have any comparable strength any comparable strength that can help Jatayu to fight with Ravana. But still, what did Jatayu do? Jatayu decided to fight and tried to stop Ravana. So Jatayu was focusing only on the work, not on the results. And Jatayu knows very well that Jatayu is going to fail. Jatayu is going to fail. But still, Jatayu tried to stop Ravana. And in the end, what happened? Ravana killed Jatayu. And then what happened after that? Huh? Yeah. So Lord Ram and Lakshmana, they came to know about it. And Lord Ram performed the final rites, the Antyeshti, to Jatayu. Personally, Lord Ram personally performed Antyeshti. And this is the only incident where Lord Ram performed Antyeshti to anyone. Okay? In Ramayana, so many people died, right? So many animals, so many human beings, they all sacrificed their lives. But Jatayu was the only incident where Lord Ram performed Antyeshti when Jatayu died. So this is what happened. This is how Lord rewards us. Even though Krishna is asking us not to Krishna is telling us you don't have a right on your results. You should not be attached to the result. But Krishna gives best. Whatever we deserve, Krishna gives according to that.
So, Prabhuji, I have a question here. Jatayu being a bird, right?
Yeah.
Was his prescribed duty? He was not a Kshatriya.
Yeah.
To go and fight and put himself in danger, right?
Yeah.
So, is from that perspective, from the Varnashrama and all these things, does it make sense?
So Bhakti is beyond Varnashrama.
So he was Lord Ram's Bhakta.
Yeah.
That's why. That's how we explain.
Yes. Yeah.
But otherwise, we should not put ourselves any danger. Say it would not have been Sita, that I would not have done that.
Yes. Yeah. See, for example, in the name of service, you cannot go and fight with a tiger.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you know your limits, you know your capacity. So you cannot go and fight with a tiger in the name of service. Okay? So from Jatayu's example, we can learn how one can focus only on the work and not the results. So I think earlier Sarita was mentioning about some examples, right? Like if a student is preparing for tests, student should only focus on the preparation and not the test and test results. Otherwise, what happens? There'll be anxiety, right? There'll be anxiety. Oh, what will happen? And the child will be stressed out. So you should just focus on the preparation. Similarly, a person attending an interview, just do your best and attend the interview, and the result is in the hands of the interviewer. There are so many other factors that are influencing whether you will get the job or not. What your job is, or what is in your control, is just preparing nicely for the interview, and during the interview perform well. That's all you can do. So basically you can only do whatever is in your control. Okay? And beyond your control, the results are beyond your control. It's all in the hands of the interviewer. Even though you are performing well, he may not give the job to you. If there's a recommendation candidate, he can give the job to that person. So results is in that person's hand. Okay?
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Not only exams, all our activities, like 90% of the people follow the same one, no? Going to school, marriage, again giving the birth to kids. No, so all these comes under which category, Prabhuji? Karmas. Means without expecting results, we are doing this one, or just we are following these karmas, just like it's like society is like that. That's why we are doing all these things. In what category all these karmas will come? Like just everybody doing marriage, everybody giving birth to kids, and going to school. All these karmas, is they are karmas, or how they can become akarmas just by centering the God and doing all this will become akarmas?
The question is the different activities or types of work that we do in the society, like getting married,
Yeah. Almost 90% of the people are following the same hierarchy, finishing the education, getting the job, and getting married. So everybody following. So all these are coming which category?
So Prabhupada explains in the purport. Let's go back to the purport there. So after describing the three types of work, okay, let me share the screen. That's a good question. So I think that we missed to read or discuss that part of the purport. So your question helps us go back to that part here. So here, if you look at the first sentence, Prabhupada says, prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Karma, vikarma, and akarma. That we already discussed, the three types of works. And second paragraph, yeah, as far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Okay, there are some Sanskrit words for these. Naimittika karma, apadda karma, and nitya karma. Nitya karma is routine work.
Okay.
The work that you perform every day on daily basis. Okay, like brushing your teeth, taking shower, all these things. Naimittika karma, daily activities. If a person is a Brahmana, doing Sandhya Vandana 3 times a day is Naimittika karma. That is the daily activity, Nitya karma. Emergency work are those works that are outside the purview of your varna or ashrama. But if it is an emergency, for example, Abhishek, you asked that question, right? Jatayu was not a Kshatriya, but it's an emergency work. Somebody has to stop Ravana. In fact, there's a nice explanation given by one of the Sri Vaishnava Acharyas. Why did Jatayu fight with Ravana even though Jatayu knows that she is going to fail? The reason is, if Ravana looks like there is some time, muhurt, okay? If Ravana is able to take Sita Devi before that muhurt or during that muhurt, then he will succeed in taking Sita Devi. That's why Jatayu tried to delay that time so that Ravana misses that muhurt and then he may not succeed in taking Sita Devi. But Jatayu fought for some time and then, Jatayu was killed. So Ravana was still able to meet that muhurt and he was able to take Sita Devi. Okay. So that is emergency work. So even though it's not in the purview of your varna and ashrama, if it is needed, apadda karma, you have to perform that activity. And then desired activities. Desired activities is naimittika karma. Okay, spiritual activities basically. Any spiritual service, devotional service, spiritual activities. These are all naimittika karma. Desired activities. So now the question that Sarita asked. Hare Krishna. So all those activities like getting married, giving birth to children, all these are routine works. Nitya karma. These are all routine works, Nitya karma. But the same Nitya karma, if it is connected with God, then that can become Naimittika karma. It can become devotional service. Why you have to get married? Why you have to get children? To get children, you need to get married. But why you need to get children? You need to get children so that you give an opportunity to some souls to get connected to Krishna. That should be your goal. If that is the goal, then the Nitya karma can become Naimittika karma. The routine, as Prabhupada said, routine work. The same routine work can be transformed into a devotional activity if it is done that way. Hare Krishna. So you are Nitai Hari Prabhu. Huh? Okay. Huh? Sri Nitai Hari Prabhu. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yeah, welcome. Good to see you. My name is Srinivas Kasam. Yeah. So you recently moved here?
Just 2 days, literally 3 days back.
Okay. Where did you move from?
From Bangalore.
Okay.
I was in Bangalore.
Okay. So Telugu. Okay. Welcome to Telugu Sangha. Welcome to Telugu Sangha here.
Oh, really?
Raise your hands. Telugu Sangha, raise your hands. Yeah. Okay, good. You're with family?
I just came alone. I'm staying with my family. My family will move eventually.
Okay. So where are you working here?
Just came on a H1B, so I'm
You need to find job.
only onboarding and consultancy.
Okay. 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 Good. I heard you are staying with your cousins in Linwood. Linwood. Okay. Good.
Just drop me. We did some puja, he has to go.
Okay. Sure. So he'll come back to pick you up?
I said that I have intention to go to ISKCON.
Go to temple, right? Yeah, yeah.
You might come in the evening to pick me.
Okay. Okay, sure. Or if one of us going, then you can go with them.
Alright.
So So from here I'll go to Bellevue Temple actually. Otherwise I would have taken you to Samamish Temple. I'm going to Bellevue Temple. We opened a new temple in Bellevue.
From there, somebody is going.
From Bellevue Temple, maybe somebody will go. You're going.
Not really.
There's no Sunday school, right?
There's no Sunday school.
Yeah. Okay. Is anyone else going to Samamish Temple today? Okay. So we'll figure that out. Either your cousin will come or we'll make some arrangement. Yeah. Okay. So what's your legal name?
Shravan Kumar.
Shravan Kumar.
Shravan Kumar Reddy
Shravan Kumar Reddy.
Venkannagari.
Venkatadari.
Venkannagari.
Venkannadari. Gari. Venkannagari. Okay. Balaji. Very good. Venkannagari. Yeah. So you missed the Vishnu Sahasranama that we discussed in the beginning of the class. We are all Telugu people, right? So we discussed Vishnu Sahasranama. No. Yesterday was Guru Purnima, right? So I was describing the significance of Guru Purnima. And we quoted some slokas from Vishnu Sahasranama about Vasudev. Okay, so coming back to this. So Sarita, is that clear to you now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay. So what were we discussing? Neeraj, you had a question?
Yeah, Prabhuji. So to the last point, so we must not expect or hope for the results, but we should have an aim, right?
You should have a
Aim.
Yes, you should aim for high actually. You should aim high. Yeah, you should aim high. In everything, whether you are studying or working or service, anywhere, you should aim high. The result can be anything. Once you start doing the work, the result can be anything. But you should always aim high. As they say, right? If you aim for the moon, you'll at least reach the stars. So if you are only aiming for the stars, you will not achieve anything. That's why you should always aim high.
When we are aiming high, we will not be distracted from the God. We will be involved in scripture.
In service, you should aim high.
That's what when we are aiming high for our profession, we are missing our spiritual part.
Yeah.
It's an unlimited kind of goal. Nobody can achieve in one instant.
Yeah.
There's endless. Here in this material world, we cannot even think about the goal.
Yeah.
We can only think about the God. Like there is at least when we are praying to the God, we are satisfying.
Yeah.
Here, no satisfaction is there. I have realized.
Yeah. Now at work also you should aim high, but again, just because you have a higher goal, you should not burn out yourself. You should not stress out. You should not stretch too much, and don't do beyond your capacity. Don't overdo things and don't do beyond your capacity. So, or set your goals according to your capacity. You know what you can deliver, so you keep your goals according to that only. If you can only deliver as an individual contributor, don't aim to become a corporate vice president. Okay? So, just aim to become an architect. Step by step. Yeah.
And this aiming is also a desire, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we should get rid of the desire. So, like this lesson, somebody young listens. How does he react actually? At the end, we should not have any desires, right?
Yeah.
But this is like I need to get a good degree, then good job, good so many, and get the higher salary.
Yeah.
These are all different aims.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we say that hey, get rid of all the aims. Just only try to focus your senses to God.
Yeah.
Like both are like contradicting each other, right? Like when is the breaking point? We should take that. Like
Yeah.
start aiming at till what age, then should start aiming for Krishna at what age?
Yes. So, so when you are performing only spiritual activity, so what you said is correct. We should not have any desire for ourselves. Our only desire, the one and only one desire is to please Krishna. Okay? But because we do not have that perfection yet. We are involved in some material occupational duties. We are still living in the material world. We have this body. We have to maintain our body. We have to maintain the family. For that, we need some income, and to leave ourselves and to leave our to provide facility to our family members. We need a house. To maintain the house, you need some money. So you should have a desire. You should have a desire to earn income. Otherwise, there will not be any motivation.
I'm only thinking about how do I survive today, right? If I don't have income,
Yeah.
I'll be only thinking about survive today. I cannot even focus on the God at all.
Yeah. And while doing that, slowly, you should change your consciousness. You should elevate your consciousness that, okay, first of all, why should I maintain my body? Your initial thinking should be, okay, I have to maintain my body. I'm leaving, I have to maintain body. I have to maintain my health. I have to, buy some cosmetics to maintain some beauty. Or I have to, do so many things, right, to maintain my body. That is your initial thinking. But slowly, when you elevate your consciousness, why should I maintain my body, first of all? What is the purpose in life? I should maintain my body to keep soul and body together so that I can perform devotional service. Because the soul cannot perform any devotional service without body. The body is the mechanism for the soul to do any activity. So when you have, when you have your consciousness elevated like that, then the same activity that you are doing, even though you have a desire to maintain your body, it's not actually your selfish desire. Your goal is to serve Krishna. Your goal is to maintain your body so that you can serve Krishna. So for that, even if you have a desire to earn income and then maintain body, that desire is purified. Yeah. Okay. Did somebody say something? Okay. Next two parts. Is it 138? Yeah. We can discuss few more. Now third one is Ma Karma Phala Hetur Bhur. This is the third component. So Ma Karma Phala Hetur Bhur. You are not the cause of the work. So this is what you asked, right?
So my question was not getting attached to the result.
Yeah.
But if we are absorbed into doing our daily duties or whatever duties, we will get attached to the duties itself.
Yeah.
Is what my question was.
Yeah. So Krishna answers that here. When you consider yourself as the doer, or when you consider yourself as the cause of the work, then you will be attached to the results. That's why Krishna is telling, do not consider yourself as a doer. So who is the doer? Krishna is the doer. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes in two places, one in 5th chapter and again in 18th chapter, what are the different factors that are involved in performing any action. So one sloka in chapter 4 or 5 actually. Prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Okay? Is that from chapter 4 or 5? Somewhere, okay? The 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, 5th chapter, they are all about karma. So it's very hard to remember which sloka is from which chapter. Okay? And then again in 18th chapter, Krishna says, Adhishtanam tata karta karanam cha pradak vividascha pradak chesta daivam chaivatra panchamam. Daivam chaivatra panchamam. That means there are 5 factors. Panchamam means 5. There are 5 factors or 5 elements that are affecting any work. Or for any action to complete, there are 5 factors that are involved. So what are the 5 factors? Adhishtanam. Adhishtanam means the place, the sitting place or place. Okay? they say right in politics, whoever is the winning party, they are in Adhishtanam, and the other party is in Pratipaksham. Adhishthana means that's a place. That's the only one and place for the chief minister or prime minister. So Adhishthana is the place. That means the body. Okay, here in this particular context, Adhishthana means the body. Adhishtanam cha karta. Karta means the doer. Who is the doer here? The jiva, the individual. Okay. Adhishtanam cha karta. Karanam cha pratak vida. Karanam. The third one is Karanam. Karanam means the instrument, the five senses, and the material facility, the overall material facility. Okay, especially the five senses actually. Because for any task to be completed, whenever we are doing any work, as Annapurna mentioned a couple of times, five senses. We'll engage either all the five senses or some of the senses. So Karanam refers to the senses. Karanam also refers to demigods, because it is only by the mercy of the demigods the senses will be in proper shape, in proper functioning state. If the demigods are not pleased, then the senses, or the legs and hands will not be in proper position to perform the action. So you need the body, and then the doer, who is the individual, the soul, and then the karanam, the instrument, the senses. Karanam cha pratak vida, vividascha pratak chesta. Vividascha pratak chesta. Chesta means endeavor. The fourth one is endeavor. So simply desiring. So the second one is doer, right? Doer is, what is doer doing? Is only desiring. Is only desiring. I want to perform this task. It's only desire. The soul is desiring. But unless there is actual action, the chesta, vividha chesta, different types of endeavors. Vividha chesta means different types of endeavors. Unless you do something, the physical action, then the action will not be performed. And then the final one is Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. Daivam means God, Krishna or Super Soul. So Super Soul, as Paramatma, he has to sanction. Simply you desire to do some action will not make the action happen. Krishna as Paramatma has to sanction that work. Only then you can perform. As they say, right? Not even a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord. So even a small activity, okay? If I want to lift my hand also, all these five elements are needed. The jiva desires to lift the hand, and then the body, there should be a body, only then I can lift the hand. Okay, and then karanam, the senses, karmendriya, and then chesta, the different endeavors. I have to actually lift, right? Simply desiring will not, we are not like Vishnu who have sankalpa shakti. Simply by desiring I will lift my hand. That will not happen. I have to actually do the physical activity of lifting my hand up. That is chesta. And then daiva. So Krishna as Paramatma has to sanction this activity. Without his sanction, you will not be able to lift the hand. And that's what happens, right? After some age, when you are in old age, you will not be able to lift the hand up also. Because Krishna is not sanctioning that. Krishna is saying, okay, you have not studied DYS, you have not learned about birth, death, old age, disease. That's why I'm not giving the sanction to lift your hand. So go and join DYS class. Okay. So 5 factors needed to complete work. Ma
Then
karma
Prabhuji,
hetur. Yeah.
then how can we are doing bad things, Prabhuji? Krishna is giving permission?
Yes. Even the bad actions also will happen only with the sanction of Krishna.
Because of karma, they perform, right? Because they would have done bad things in the earlier. That's why they are doing in that. Nobody wants to do bad things, right?
because of some past karma and because of what they are thinking in the present life, they will decide to perform a sinful activity. They will desire to perform a sinful activity, but it is Krishna who sanctions that.
Instincts will tell not to do.
They'll ignore that.
That we ignore.
They'll ignore that.
God sanction.
Yeah. Before sanctioning, Krishna will send a signal saying that, hey, you are desiring to do a sinful activity, be careful. It's going to give you sinful reactions. Are you sure you want to perform this sinful activity? Then this person, if he ignores, then Krishna will sanction. But in that moment, if that person becomes aware of it and becomes conscious, saying that, okay, if I kill this person, then I'm going to get a sinful reaction, I will only suffer. Then if he changes his mind, then he'll be safe. But if he does not, then Krishna sanctions. Krishna only sanctions. We hear some stories for example, in Dallas, some shooter, he goes to a school and shoots his gun on innocent children, right? Everybody, blames God. Okay, people who believe in God, they blame God, saying that, oh, why did God allow this? Yeah, God only allowed that for various reasons.
But how can we?
Yeah.
But how can we decide, Prabhuji? In some things we know it's bad, doing bad, so we'll get the signal, okay. In some things even we don't know whether it is good or bad. That time, how can we decide it's a bad action, we should not do that one? In some actions we know, yeah, it is bad, we can't do that one. But some things we don't know, no? So how can we decide whether we can do or not?
That's why life should be guided. Every step in our life, every walk of our life should be guided. It should be guided by sadhu, shastra and sangha, or guru, sadhu and shastra. Okay? If we have access to guru, you can take guidance from guru. In the absence of guru, because guru cannot come and advise you for every small thing, right? Should I work for Amazon or Microsoft? Guru, you cannot expect a guru to come and give suggestion there. So certain things you can take guidance from Shastras. Bhagavad Gita, when you read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, you can sharpen your intelligence. That's where you can discriminate between good and bad. You can discriminate between the right thing and the wrong thing. Okay? You can also take guidance from senior people, mentors. Okay? So various types of guidance. Life should be guided. Every walk of our life should be guided.
Sure.
Swamiji, a follow-up question on that?
Yeah, 1 second, Neeraj.
Because we do something we don't know, or we just follow the crowd.
Yeah.
Because we don't know, we are not aware of the things in detail.
Yeah.
Why we are doing some, we simply follow the crowd and do it. Other persons are doing it.
Yeah, and that's not correct. Yeah, that's not correct. Even if you feel left out, it is okay not to follow the crowd, but do the right thing to do.
Yeah, I saw this example recently. I went to Vijayawada.
Yeah.
Everybody going to see the Kanakadurga Devi, that big queue. But Krishna is there, Sri Krishna is there. Very few people are going to see the Krishna.
Yeah.
So we spend there some time, and then it's always Krishna Mande Jagat Guru.
Yeah.
But the crowd not even looking at it.
Yeah.
They wanted to see the Durga Devi first.
Yeah. And if lakhs and lakhs of people are going and taking darshan of Kanakadurga Devi, because they are getting material benefits, right? By worshipping Kanakadurga, they are getting material benefits. So if you follow the herd mentality and follow the crowd, you will miss this higher benefit. Yeah, you will get the temporary benefit. By taking darshan of Kanakadurga Devi, you will get temporary benefit. But you will miss the opportunity to get this permanent benefit, Shreyas. You will get prayers, but you will miss the opportunity to get Shreyas. So, okay. Yeah, Neeraj, you are asking something.
Prabhuji, so I mean, it's us who decide what is good or what is right and what is wrong. But how do we know that what we decide is decided as the right thing is actually the right thing? taking example of Arjuna. Arjuna had like many geniuses as his gurus, like Dronacharya and all those people. Still, he needed Krishna himself to tell him all this
Yeah.
and come to him for his personal guidance. And Arjuna was like no ordinary person. We cannot even come closer, like even 1% of him.
Yeah.
And we are relying on like people like us to tell us what is right or wrong. But how do we know for sure that what they are saying is right is actually right?
Yeah. So that's why you need to have faith. You need to accept some authority, and you need to have faith in that authority. Once you accept a person as authority, you need to have faith, saying that whatever this person is going to tell is good for me only. That's why before you ask for guidance, you choose properly, you choose wisely.
Surrender.
Hmm?
Surrender to.
No, not surrender.
We have to retrospect, means whether it is good or bad for me, means after going to that person, we feel good or we get the results of that, based on that we have to take a call.
So, for example, there are different things, right? For example, to choose a guru. To choose a guru, there are some, there is some guidance given in the Shastras only. How to choose a guru. Because you cannot choose a guru, randomly, right? If some person is giving, some big discourse where thousands of people are attending, and then he's doing so many projects, that doesn't mean he is a genuine guru. So a guru must come from a bona fide parampara. Guru means he must be from a bona fide parampara. Like Nityananda, all these rascals, they don't have any parampara. They are self-proclaimed godmen. Osho, Rajneesh, these are all rascals. But they were claiming themselves as gurus. And several, millions of people followed them. So when choosing a guru, there is some guidance given in the Shastras. He must come from a bona fide parampara, and he needs to follow so and so rules. So when you see a person who is doing that, then you can choose him as a guru. Similarly, accepting an authority, right? For example, grandmother. So grandmother, you see your grandmother from childhood saying so many good things to you, and you follow those. And when you follow those, you can see yourself from your experience that whatever grandmother is telling, it's helping you. And then you develop more confidence on grandmother. And you will develop so much confidence that whatever my grandmother says, I'll do. Because she's only going to say what is right for me to do. So that's what it boils down to, Niraj. Basically, you need to accept an authority. And before you accept an authority, you choose wisely. Okay? You make an intelligent decision to accept an authority. Once you accept an authority, you have faith, strong faith, that whatever that person is going to say will be good for me only.
No, I think so that one is good for spiritual growth, but maybe he's asking personal life, right?
No, the grandmother example I gave for personal life only.
Yeah.
Grandmother example. So it may be grandmother, it may be your parents or your friend, your uncle. It can be anyone. Yeah, it can be your colleague, anybody.
Husband.
And also wife. And also wife. Wife is compared to minister. You know what?
Home minister, right?
Huh?
Home minister.
Yeah, home minister or whatever. Yeah.
No, but they are not as up to the knowledge of Krishna, right? Like, so we can say we can take the advice from grandma or parents or something.
Yeah.
But they are not up to the mark of Krishna, right? So they cannot be anything, right?
I mean, Krishna is not available to you.
No, but how we can take the advice from them? Like, if they are not complete 100% knowledgeable, right? So they may be also wrong.
But
right?
the context of advice may also be like more like worldly, right? It's not like.
So whether they are wrong or not, see, your best bargain is to accept some authority from your
Nearby.
known circle.
Subject matter.
It may be family members or friends, colleagues. And then you start implementing whatever they are saying, and you can experience whether it is good or not. But if it is a spiritual activity that you have to do, then the Shastra is giving some advice, Guru will give advice to you, and Paramatma from within, Krishna will give advice to you. In fact, Krishna will guide you in material life also. But once you know that Krishna is giving advice to you, then you will accept Krishna's dictation as a instruction. Otherwise, you can have one of the family members or friends as a mentor and authority.
Even for cooking a new item, new curry or sweet something.
Yeah.
My wife used to call my mother-in-law, take advice, and we experience.
So many secrets are revealing, huh?
And we experience whether that's a good or bad.
Yeah.
And sometimes we know what to do. It's just we consult someone to make sure we have a person to blame. Like it's you also. Support. And in our heart we know. We asked 3 people. 2 people said no, but because we decided yes, we go to the 3rd person and we get that assurance of that person. It's good.
Those 2 people said no.
So that is our authority.
So we want favorable answer.
Very, very defensive way of choosing authority. Okay.
What is the picture?
Yeah, so I'll explain about this picture. So remember we discussed earlier, we are forced to act. So we are forced to perform activities under the influence of 3 modes. So here the picture that you are seeing, the 3 ladies, they are like 3 gunas: Sattva guna, Rajo guna and Tamo guna. Mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. So they are always, we are like a puppet in the hands of these 3 modes. We are always doing something or the other under the influence of these 3 modes. So, but what is our mentality? We are thinking that we are doing everything. And because I am thinking that I am the doer, I want to enjoy. I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. But who is the actual doer and actual enjoyer? It is Krishna. Krishna is, remember the definition of God from DYS days? Supreme creator, supreme proprietor, supreme controller, supreme enjoyer. Yeah. But when we do any work, we think that we are the doer, we are the enjoyer, we are the controller, we are the proprietor, we are everything. So that has to change. So when we make an attempt to purify our mind, we have to get rid of this doership mentality, proprietorship mentality, enjoyership mentality and controllership mentality. So controllership, can we control anything in this world? No.
You cannot control your mind. How can you?
You cannot control your mind. You cannot control many things. A CEO of a company, he may be able to control all of his employees, but when he comes home, who controls the CEO?
That will come as an I factor. Why that I factor? Because of the Maya or the environment which we live. Because of that factor.
Because of the conditioning. Yes. See, the soul, by nature, the soul doesn't have this, this concept of I-ness, me, mamatva, mama, mamatva. These are not there for the soul. But when we fall into the material world, in the conditioned state, we think like that. I, me, mine, all these things. It's because of the conditioning in the material world. Yeah. False ego. Yeah. So ahankara. Aham means I. Mama means mine. Mamatva, minus. I, me, mine, minus. Okay. So when we do any work, it's a tendency to think that I am the doer. Okay. But actually, Krishna is the doer.
But in the work also we think in a different possibilities, right? I can do this way, I can do this way, this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like our mind is also playing there are so many options to do the same work.
Yeah.
Like I came here for work with maybe I could have chosen to go to movie.
Yeah.
I can choose to do some other thing, activity, right?
Yeah.
So like which is driving the things to do in a particular direction?
Your intelligence. So your intelligence are guiding your senses, whether to come to class like this or go to temple or go to a movie. So without proper intelligence, default option is to go to a movie. But when there is proper intelligence, you can discriminate between good and bad.
So yeah, we should always trust our intelligence because I don't have might not have knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So intelligence also sometimes we go with the gut feeling.
So we should
this
not
will be
trust
good.
our own intelligence, but we should trust that intelligence that is sharpened by Shastras. That is sharpened by Shastra and Guru. Yeah. See, our own intelligence is always wrong.
It always goes in all the directions.
Yeah. So whatever intelligence you sharpen by reading scriptures, by hearing from Guru, that you can trust. So it's 2:00, right? Let's see if we can finish the next slide quickly. Yeah, I think we can finish the next slide quickly. And there is more actually in this topic, but at least we will finish this and then. So the fourth component is Mate Sangost Akarmani. Do not give up your work. Okay? Or in exact translation, do not be attached to not performing your work. Mate Sangost Akarmani. Sangha means attachment. The word ma is negation here. No. When Krishna says karmanye vadikaraste ma phalesh kadachana, no results. Ma karma phala hetur ma hetu. You are not the cause. And then then we miss the second line. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phalesh kadachana ma karma phala heturbur and mate sangos vakarmani. Sangha means attachment. Ma sangha means no attachment. Okay, mate sangos akarmani. Do not be attached to not doing your work. Okay, that is false renunciation. If you decide not to do work, because Krishna is saying that I should not be attached to the results, I should not, think about the results. I would rather not do any work. That is false renunciation. Or if you think that even if I do this work, I may fail. So rather I it's better for me not to do the work at all. Just like Arjuna, right? Arjuna, he decided not to work. So that is false renunciation. In the beginning, when Arjuna asked, should I fight or not? Then Krishna started giving knowledge about karma, jnana yoga, karma yoga, all these things, buddhi yoga, all these things. So then, after hearing for some time, Arjuna was confused. So if you are saying that I should be situated in knowledge, I should cultivate knowledge, jnana yoga, that means should I not fight? Should I not do any work? That's what Arjuna asked. You will see that in chapter 3, in chapter 4 and 5, you will see that. So Krishna is not asking us to give up the work. We should not develop a false renunciation mentality. Okay? Rather, we should perform every action just like an instrument in Krishna's hands. Krishna is guiding all of us. Everything that's happening in this material world is only happening as per Krishna's plan. Whatever is happening, whether good or bad, both. whether you like it or not, whether it is a success or failure to you. Everything is happening as per Krishna's plan. And it is perfect. Because Krishna is perfect. That's why whatever he does is also perfect. You may like it or may not like it, that's a different thing. But whatever is happening, whatever Krishna is doing, whatever is Krishna's plan, that is perfect. We just have to work like an instrument in Krishna's hands. That's why in chapter 11, when Krishna shows universal form to Arjuna, because Arjuna is not fighting. Even after speaking 10 chapters, Arjuna is not ready to fight at all. So then Krishna decided, okay, let me show my universal form to convince Arjuna. Then Krishna showed his universal form, and then the Kala Rupa, the Bhayankara, fearful Kala Rupa. And then Krishna said, okay, so in that Kala Rupa form, as you can see here on this picture here, right? You see fire is coming out of Krishna's mouth, not the middle one, but look at the ones on the left and right side, the fearful, Kala Rupa form. The fire is coming out of Krishna's mouth, and Krishna also shows all the Kauravas entering his mouth like fireflies. Just like how small insects enter the fire and die, just like that, the Kauravas enter Krishna's mouth like fireflies. So Krishna tells Arjuna that all these Kauravas, I have already killed them. And Krishna shows in the Kala Rupa form, like they are entering into his mouth. Arjuna could see that. And then Krishna says, I have already killed them, but you just become an instrument. You just pick up bow and arrow, fight, just for the sake of fighting. Become an instrument. There's a beautiful sloka in chapter 11. Krishna says, Tasmat tvamuttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samruddham mayaivaite nihata purvameva nimitta matram bhavasavya sachi. The last line, nimitta matram bhavasavya sachi. Arjuna is known as Savyasachi. Why Savyasachi? What's the meaning of the word Savyasachi?
With 2 hands he can give, arrows can.
Yes. So Savyasachi means one who can use both hands equally. So generally we can do things properly with our right hand, if a person is right-handed. The left hand, we cannot put the left hand into action as effectively as we can do with right hand. But a Savyasachi is that person who can use both hands equally, whether for fighting or for anything, So that is Savyasachi. So Krishna is reminding his ability. Krishna is reminding Arjuna's ability, saying that, oh Savyasachi, you are so capable of fighting. Why are you giving up this fighting? Just do the action of fighting as an instrument. I have already killed them. Mayai vaite nihata purvameva. By my prior arrangement, they have already been killed. Nihata means killed. They have been killed. Mayaiva means by me. Nihata purvameva. Purva means by prior arrangement. Mayai vaite nihata purvameva nimitta matram bhavasavyasachi. By my prior arrangement, they have already been killed. Now it's up to you whether you want to become an instrument and fight. If you don't fight, I'll find somebody else and use them as an instrument. So then Arjuna was convinced after seeing all the Kauravas entering Krishna's mouths like fireflies, and after hearing Bhagavad Gita knowledge in further chapters. Then in the end, after telling entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told Arjuna, now you do whatever you want to do. Yadechasi tada kuru. Just because Krishna gave all this knowledge, oh, I spoke 574 slokas. Can you please do whatever I am saying? Krishna did not say that. He said, Yadechasi tada kuru. You do whatever you wish to do.
But many slokas said Tada Yuddhasva Bharata or something, right? Get ready for the fight, and many slokas.
Yeah.
Get up and fight.
Yeah. That is like encouraging Arjuna to fight. It is not a dictation or it's not an order. It's not an order. Even in this sloka, Tasmat Tvamuttishta. Uttishta means get up. Therefore, get up, Arjuna. But how Krishna is asking him to fight? Nimitta matram, like an instrument. Krishna is asking him to fight not as a dictator. Tasmat Tvamuttishta in the first line, but in the last line, Nimitta matram. Get up and fight, but as an instrument.
Motivates. Krishna motivates.
Yeah. So just like parents, how they motivate. That's a good thing actually. Motivation, right? Just like parents, when they ask a child to perform some task, and if the child is not able to perform, let's say drawing or like lifting a heavy thing, the child is not able to lift that. So parents, what they will do? They'll go behind the big rock that the child is trying to lift. The parents will apply all the force. They'll only move everything. And then the child is in the front. The child cannot see the parents who are in the behind and then pushing the rock. And then after some time, the child is able to pull the rock. Then the parents will come in the front and say, "Hey, good job." Okay, that is to motivate. And the parents will ask the child, "Okay, write your name now. Write your name on the rock." So that's what Krishna is saying. Become an instrument and take the credit. Jitva shatrum bhungshva rajyam samruddham. Samruddham means in full. Jitva shatrum means defeat your enemies. Jitva shatrum bhungtva rajyam samruddham. Bhungtva means to enjoy, to eat, to enjoy. Bhungtva rajyam samruddham. Rajya means kingdom. Enjoy your kingdom fully. Defeat your enemies and enjoy your kingdom fully. That means write your name. The parents are only doing the homework. But in the end, they'll say, "Okay, write your name now." So I have already killed all these enemies before, but you just become an instrument and fight. That should be our mentality. Mate sangos tvakarmani. We should not give up our work, but we should work as an instrument. Whether success or failure, the result can be anything. But we should just work as an instrument in Krishna's hands. Okay? So we'll stop here. It is 2:12. Okay? We'll continue this. This topic is not ended yet. Okay? We just only covered the 4 components of the shloka, but there are more details to discuss. Okay? Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. We'll continue next week.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.